Hello, my friend, and welcome to Ben's Bible. I'm so glad you're here with me right now. Before we begin our journey, take a moment to get comfortable. Feel free to say hello in the comments and let me know where in the world you're watching from. If there's something weighing on your mind or troubling your heart, you can share that too if you feel comfortable. I'm here with you, and I want you to know that you're not alone. Whatever burdens or worries you might be carrying, let's gently set them aside for a while. This time is for you to find peace and comfort. Take a slow, deep breath if you like, and as you exhale, imagine releasing any stress or tension. You are in a safe space now, and we're going to spend the next little while together in calm and soothing reflection. Tonight I will guide you through the story of creation from the Bible, told in a gentle and peaceful way. In this story we will travel back to the very beginning of time when nothing existed but God, and watch a step-by-step light, sky, land, plants, stars, animals, and finally humankind come into being. It's a beautiful story of how everything began, and my hope is that as you listen, you will feel more at ease and filled with a sense of wonder and comfort. Now let's begin our journey to the dawn of creation. Come with me to a time before time, as we witness how God's love brought our world into existence. Day 1, light in the darkness. In the beginning there is only darkness and silence. Everything is formless, empty and still. You find yourself in this deep, quiet void where nothing yet exists, no earth beneath your feet, no sky above, just an endless expanse of calm darkness. Everything is silent and still, as if the universe is holding its breath in anticipation. In this primordial night, time itself has yet to truly begin. All is simply waiting in the quiet of eternity. Yet even in this nothingness you sense a gentle presence with you. It is the Spirit of God hovering peacefully over the deep black waters of possibility. God's presence gives a comforting promise of the creation about to unfold. All at once, God's voice speaks into the darkness. His voice is soft but full of power, and it echoes through the emptiness as he calls for light. In an instant, at his word, a warm radiant light appears. You watch in wonder as golden brightness blooms out of the darkness, pushing back the shadows and illuminating the vast space. This isn't sunlight, it is pure light given by God's command, filling the newborn world with a gentle glow. Far below, the waters that once lay shrouded in darkness now shimmer softly under this new light. The surface of the deep reflects a gentle gleam, signalling that creation has truly begun. The light is soft and soothing to your eyes. It feels comforting and good, bathing everything in a new sense of hope. God looks at the light he has made and you sense his pleasure. He sees that the light is good. For the first time, what was once only darkness now has a bright glow. A new day has begun, and in contrast, the remaining darkness is now called night. God separates the light from the darkness, establishing a balance, a time for light and a time for darkness, a time for activity and a time for rest. This is the dawn of time itself, a gentle rhythm of morning and evening that will continue henceforth. After shining brilliantly, the light gently wanes as the first day moves toward its close. You witness the soft fading of the light as evening comes, bringing a calm and gentle darkness. The brightness of the first day gives way to the quiet of the first night. But this darkness is no longer empty or frightening. It carries the promise that morning will come again. And indeed, after the night passes, the light returns with the morning, tender and sure. You have now witnessed the first sunrise and the first sunset, the establishment of day and night. What was once endless and still is now beautifully ordered into a cycle of light and rest. Thus, the very first day of creation comes to completion. Light and darkness have now been separated, and the cycle of day and night has begun its gentle rhythm. One day has now passed since God began his work, and everything so far is good and filled with hope. Day 2, sky and water. The next morning dawns, bringing the start of day 2. Once again you are present with God as he continues his work. Above and below you still see the vast waters from the day before, an endless ocean stretching out under the brightening sky. The gentle light returns, illuminating the scene. For the first time, the sky itself begins to show a faint colour, a soft, gentle blue expanding overhead as the dawn light touches the lingering mist over the waters. Now God focuses on these waters, and with a word he begins to shape them in a new way. God creates a great expanse to separate the waters. Imagine a space opening up in the middle of that endless water. The waters below remain gathered as the deep oceans, while the waters above are lifted high. God is forming the sky, the broad heavens above the world, a wide blue dome arching over the land and sea. You gaze up as the upper waters form soft clouds in the heights of heaven, while far below the deep seas shimmer. Between the waters above and the waters below lies the fresh, open air, clear, pure and calm. This expanse is vast and endless, and God calls it sky. For the first time, there is a vast sky above, distinct from the sea below. The air itself feels new and clean. A gentle breeze stirs across the waters, the first wind ever to blow through the newborn atmosphere. High above, the clouds drift lazily, offering soothing shade and adding depth to the endless blue. Down below, the oceans sparkle under the light, their surface rippling peacefully with the touch of the breeze. As you look around, you see the beautiful canvas God has prepared, a boundless sky above and tranquil waters below. The world now has height and depth, an above and a below, and it feels expansive and full of potential. At the distant horizon, where the blue of the sky meets the blue of the sea, there is a sense of balance and space. One day this sky will carry clouds and winds, and this sea will teem with life. But for now they simply exist in quiet readiness. God looks at this new arrangement and is pleased. The sky above and the sea below are just as he intended, bringing order and spaciousness to the world. In his wisdom, he knows that soon this space will be filled with even more life and beauty. Evening comes, gently dimming the blue sky into soft hues of twilight. The second day comes to a peaceful close. Night falls once more, quiet and calm. After the night passes, the morning light returns yet again, revealing the sky and sea ready for the next stages of creation. 2 days of creation have now passed, each perfectly accomplished by God's word. The earth now has both light and air, day and night, sky and sea. Everything is unfolding in a harmonious order, and God's plan is moving steadily forward. Day 3. Land and vegetation. With the arrival of the third morning, day 3 begins, and you continue to journey alongside God in creation. Below the vast sky, the view is still mostly water as far as you can see, stretching to the horizon. But today, God will bring forth something entirely new. Gently he speaks again to the world, commanding the waters below to gather together even more and for dry ground to appear. As God gives the command, you witness an awe-inspiring sight. Across the surface of the deep, the waters begin to recede and pull back in places, as if obeying an invisible hand. You see the tops of mountains and hills start to emerge. Great land masses push up from beneath the ocean. First, a rocky peak breaks through the waves. Then more and more earth rises up, shedding the water that covered it. Islands and continents take shape, their edges kissed by the retreating sea. Wet earth and rocks glisten under the morning light as the oceans collect into newly made seas, lakes, and winding rivers. Before long, what was once an endless ocean is now a beautiful balance of blue waters and solid ground. God has formed the land, and alongside it the seas. He looks at the dry land and the gathered waters, and you sense his delight. This too is good and right. The world now has broad continents and islands, valleys and mountains, beaches and riverbanks. There are cliffs that overlook the sea, gentle rolling hills and flat plains stretching out under the sky. The ground is rich and ready, like a blank canvas waiting to be filled with life. God is not done with this day yet. Now that the land has appeared, he speaks again, this time telling the earth to bring forth vegetation. You watch in wonder as the soil itself begins to stir with new life. Little green shoots start poking up through the ground, slowly at first, then faster and faster, unfurling into soft grasses that sway in the breeze. Buds push up and blossom into wildflowers, painting the hillsides with gentle colours, touches of blue, soft yellows and warm reds. In damp areas near the newly formed streams, ferns uncurl their delicate fronds and moss spreads like a green carpet. Across the plains, shrubs and bushes spring up, and tall trees rise toward the sky, their leaves unfolding in the sunlight. Every kind of plant begins to appear. Fruit trees grow, heavy with sweet, ripe fruits of all kinds. Apple trees dotted with red and gold apples, vines dangling clusters of purple grapes, and tall fig trees with broad green leaves. Majestic oaks and cedars stretch out their branches, while graceful willows sway by the water's edge. Flowers of every variety open their petals. You see lilies by clear ponds, cheerful daisies in sunlit meadows, and vibrant roses adding splashes of red among the green. Fields of wheat and barley sprout in golden patches across the open land. The once barren earth is transforming into a living garden right before your eyes. You can smell the fresh, earthy scent of soil and the faint sweetness of new blossoms on the breeze. The world is now dressed in living green, from the soft grass underfoot to the canopy of leaves overhead. The gentle sound of rustling leaves and the trickle of flowing water create a peaceful melody in this newborn landscape. It's a comforting, life-filled quiet broken only by the whisper of wind through the trees and the soft lap of water on the new shores. God surveys this vibrant earth and sees that it is good. Where there was once only bare ground, there is now abundance food and beauty in every direction. The earth is prepared to support all the life that will come next. As the day draws to an end, the daylight begins to soften, casting a golden glow over the fields and forests. Evening approaches and the sky becomes a tapestry of gentle colours, rosy pink, warm orange and pale purple, reflecting on the clouds above the new horizon. You watch as the first sunset over the land unfolds. The light slowly fades from the sky, and the world is draped in the soft shadows of dusk. It has been a full and wonderful third day. Night comes, and the world falls quiet under a blanket of darkness. 3 days of creation have now passed. With land formed and plants growing, the earth has been prepared as a home, a place of beauty and provision. Everything is just as God intended, and there is a sense of anticipation for the living creatures that will soon inhabit this thriving world. Day 4. Sun, moon and stars. Morning light breaks on day 4, and you sense that God is about to add something special to the heavens. Until now, there has been day and night, light and darkness, but no distinct sources of light in the sky. Now God will create shining orbs to govern the day and the night and to adorn the sky with their beauty. God speaks, and high above a new brilliance appears. You look to the eastern horizon and see the very first sunrise with the true sun. A glowing golden orb lifts into the sky, its light brighter and more focused than anything before. The sun has been created to rule the day, and it pours warmth and radiance over the land. Under its rays, the world lights up in vibrant colour. The green of the plants grows richer, the waters sparkle even more brightly, and a pleasant warmth fills the air. You can feel the sun's gentle heat on your skin, a comforting touch that energizes all it shines upon. The flowers turn their faces toward this new sun, and the land basks in its life-giving light. As the day passes into afternoon, the sun continues its graceful journey across the sky. Eventually it begins to sink toward the western horizon. God has set in motion a steady rhythm for this great light. You watch as the sun descends, and the sky glows with the rich hues of another beautiful sunset, now made even more splendid by the sun's presence, painting the clouds in gold and orange. Soon the sun slips out of sight and daylight softens into early dusk. But God's work on this day is not yet finished. When darkness falls, he creates lights for the night. As the sky grows dim and deep blue, a gentle silver radiance emerges above. God has placed the moon in the night sky to softly illuminate the darkness. You notice it rising above the horizon, a quiet pale disk that casts a soothing glow over the landscape. The moon's light is cool and calming, a soft counterpoint to the sun's warm brilliance. Under this moonlight, the hills and trees are gently silhouetted, and the surface of the lakes and seas shimmers with a silvery reflection. Then God adorns the rest of the night sky with countless stars. One by one, pinpoints of light blink into existence against the dark canvas of space, until there are too many to count. The stars twinkle like diamonds scattered across black velvet. You tilt your head back and gaze at them in wonder. Some stars shine with a faint blue-white gleam, others with a warmer golden twinkle. Looking up, you notice a faint silver band stretching across the sky, millions of distant stars clustered together in what will be called the Milky Way, adding a soft haze to the night panorama. They fill the heavens with a quiet, majestic beauty, offering a sense of immense peace and wonder. With the moon and stars now overhead, the night is no longer so dark or empty. It has a gentle light of its own. The sky that was once blank now tells a story with its constellations and the steady, reassuring glow of the moon. These lights will help mark the passage of time-guiding days, seasons, and years, ensuring that creation keeps a graceful rhythm. The sun will bring each new day, the moon will gentle the night, and the stars will silently chart the seasons and years. God looks at the sun, the moon, and all the stars he has placed in the sky, and he sees that it is good. On this fourth day, the universe has been given its luminaries. Evening deepens into night as the moon and stars keep watch over the resting world below. For the rest of this night, the world sleeps peacefully under their gentle glow. After these quiet hours pass, morning will come again, bringing with it the fresh sunrise of a new day. 4 days of creation are now complete, and the world is blessed with lights in the heavens to guide and comfort every coming day and night. Day 5, creatures of the sea and sky. The morning of day 5 arrives with a fresh sense of excitement in the air. You have seen God bring forth light, sky, land, and a world of plants. Now the stage is set for more vibrant life. Today, God will fill the waters and the skies with living creatures. By the sparkling blue seas, God speaks again. As his words ripple through the air, the once empty oceans suddenly teem with movement. All at once, countless sea creatures come to life beneath the waves. You catch glimpses of them in the clear, sunlit waters. Schools of shimmering fish dart back and forth in unison, their scales flashing silver and rainbow colours. Graceful sea turtles paddle slowly near the surface, and playful dolphins leap joyfully out of the water, splashing back down with tiny showers of droplets. In the deeper waters, great whales roll and sing deep, soothing songs that echo through the vast blue. Among coral reefs near the shores, bright tropical fish weave through the swaying corals and seaweed brilliant yellows, blues and reds, creating an underwater tapestry of colour and life. The oceans that were silent the day before are now alive with gentle sounds. The splash of jumping fish, the whisper of waves stirred by moving creatures, and distant melodic calls from the whales. It's a peaceful, joyful kind of noise that makes you smile. God has populated the seas with an incredible variety of life, from the smallest darting minnows to the mighty whales that glide in the depths. Each creature is perfectly designed for the water, some with fins, some with shells, some with soft jelly-like bodies, and others with shimmering scales. The water is alive, and it is good. God then turns to the open sky above. He speaks, and birds appear, filling the heavens with new motion and song. You look up to see all kinds of winged creatures taking flight. Tiny sparrows and finches flit between the newly grown trees, chirping cheerful melodies. Doves and robins glide on the breeze, while bright parrots and parakeets add splashes of colour as they swoop by. High above, mighty eagles and hawks spread their broad wings and soar effortlessly on the air currents. In the lakes and ponds, graceful swans and ducks paddle on the calm water, then take off into the air with beating wings. Even the shores come alive with activity. Seabirds like gulls and pelicans circle above the waves, occasionally diving down to catch fish for their meal. For the first time, the world is filled with birdsong. The early morning air carries the sweet warbling of songbirds and the gentle cooing of doves. The rustling of wings and the distant calls of seabirds create a soft chorus in the background of creation. You can hear the flutter of feathers as a small bird passes near you, and the soothing call of an owl that rests in a tree hollow even in daylight. The sky that was once so quiet now has its own lively music, yet it remains calm and harmonious. God watches these new creatures of the sea and sky with love and delight. He blesses them, giving them a gentle instruction to thrive and fill the sea and sky with even more life. It is as if he is saying to them, "Enjoy this world I've made for you and grow in number." The fish swim a little deeper and the birds sing a little louder, almost as if they have heard God's blessing in their own way. As you witness this scene, you feel a sense of joy and hope swelling in your chest. The world is no longer silent or still. It is alive and beautifully dynamic, yet still peaceful. Each creature, whether in the water or in the air, moves with grace as if dancing to a divine melody. Evening approaches and the sky fades into the soft colours of sunset once again. Birds find their resting places in trees and on calm waters, and the ocean's creatures settle into the gentle rhythms of the sea. The 5th day comes to a close as night falls. The moon and stars rise once more, shining down on a world now rich with life in the seas and skies. And God sees that this day's work is good. 5 days of creation have now passed, and the earth is brimming with life and sound, ready for the final touches of God's creative love. Day 6, animals and humankind. Dawn breaks on day 6, the final day of God's creative work. The morning light reveals a world that is already rich with life-lush green lands, blue seas, and skies alive with birdsong. On this day, God will complete his creation by bringing forth land animals and at last human beings. God speaks once more to the earth. In response, the land itself seems to stir with anticipation. All across the fields and forests, new creatures begin to appear. You watch in amazement as the dry ground brings forth animals of every kind. In the meadows, gentle creatures like deer and antelopes materialize and take their first steps on delicate legs. Cattle and sheep appear in grassy fields, grazing peacefully as if they have always belonged there. Out of the forest trot majestic elephants and sturdy rhinoceroses, their great bodies moving with surprising grace. Horses gallop across the plains with manes flying, and buffalo gather in herds, flicking their tails contentedly. The wild places of the earth also come alive. Lions and tigers, with their golden and striped coats, stretch out under the morning sun, utterly at peace. There is no violence or fear in them, only a noble strength. Bears lumber out of caves, sniffing the fresh air, and wolves and foxes trot through the underbrush, their eyes bright and curious. High in the trees, monkeys and lemurs scamper on branches, chattering playfully. Small rabbits hop out of their burrows, and mice and squirrels scurry in the undergrowth. Even the low ground is not forgotten. Tiny lizards dart over rocks, frogs croak near ponds, and butterflies and beetles flit and crawl amidst the leaves and grass. Every creature finds its place on this new earth. They live in harmony with the world and with each other. The lion lies down calmly near the lamb, the wolf and the calf rest side by side. There is no danger or hostility, only peace. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your face as you stand in awe of this scene. An entire realm of animals, great and small, now populating the land. The air is filled with new sounds, the gentle lowing of cattle, the soft purring of a contented big cat, the playful yips of young foxes chasing each other through the bushes. It is a joyful symphony of life. God looks upon the animals he's made and smiles, seeing that this too is good. Yet in all this abundance of life, something is still missing God's masterpiece, the beings who will be most like him. Now the Creator prepares to fashion his final and most beloved creation, humankind. Up until now, God has spoken things into existence, but for this last act he chooses a more intimate touch. You see God gently kneel down to the ground. With his own hands he scoops up some of the dust of the earth, the rich brown soil he created on day 3. With infinite care he begins to shape the clay as an artist would mould a sculpture. He forms arms and legs, a strong but gentle face, and a body in his own image. In a short time the form of the first man lies on the soft earth, perfectly made but still and lifeless. Then God leans close and breathes into the man's nostrils the breath of life. Suddenly the man's chest rises as he takes a first breath. His eyes open, and they sparkle with life and awareness. You watch in awe as the first human being comes alive. God reaches out and helps the man to his feet. This first man is named Adam, which means from the earth, because he was formed from the dust of the ground. Adam stands and looks around at the world with wonder, taking in the golden sunlight, the swaying trees, and the gentle animals nearby. You can imagine the soft breeze on his skin and the rich sense of blossoms and earth as he experiences everything for the very first time. There is a pure childlike curiosity and joy on his face. God has prepared a special place for Adam to live. He leads the man to a beautiful garden called Eden, a sanctuary of peace and delight. Eden is like a perfect park filled with everything Adam could need or want. Fruit trees of every kind grow here, offering their sweet, bounty juicy oranges, figs, dates, berries, and more hanging ripe and ready to eat. Flowering plants perfume the air with a delightful fragrance, and a clear river winds through the garden, its waters sparkling in the sunlight as it nourishes all the green life. Birds flit through the trees of this garden, and gentle animals wander peacefully without fear. In Eden, God invites Adam to live, to cultivate the garden, and to care for it. God also brings the animals to Adam to see what names the man will give each one. You stroll with Adam through the garden as he meets these creatures like old friends. A furry brown dog trots up to Adam happily, and Adam laughs, reaching down to stroke its ears as he decides to call it Dog. A lioness pads over and nuzzles Adam's hand. She is as friendly as any house cat, and Adam marvels at her strength and beauty. Colourful birds perch on Adam's shoulders and arms, chirping their greetings as he gently speaks names for each kind. From the tallest giraffe eating leaves off the treetops to the tiniest field mouse nibbling on seeds, Adam gives every creature a name and a kind smile. There is a harmony between the man and the animals. He is their caretaker and friend, and they trust him completely. For a time, Adam busies himself exploring Eden and enjoying the company of all the birds and beasts. He runs with the playful young deer through the meadows, swims in the clear stream alongside curious fish, and rests in the shade of a great oak with a tame tiger curled up beside him. In this perfect world, none of the animals harms or fears each other or Adam. Still, as evening approaches, Adam feels a certain loneliness whisper in his heart. Among all the creatures, he has not found another being like himself. The gentle doe may nuzzle his shoulder and the monkey may ride on his back playfully, but none can share truly in his thoughts or converse with him as an equal. Adam gazes at the pairs of birds flying together and the foxes curled up with their mates, and he senses that something is missing for him. God understands this longing in Adam. He gently declares that Adam should not be alone, and that he will make a companion perfectly suited for him. You hear the kindness and purpose in God's voice, and you know something wonderful is about to happen. God guides Adam to lie down in the soft grass under a leafy tree. A feeling of deep drowsiness comes over Adam, and he closes his eyes. Soon he falls into a peaceful, God-given sleep. You watch quietly as God gently places his hand on Adam's side. From the man's own body, God takes a rib and closes up the place with care. With that rib in his hands, God once again begins to create. Just as he formed Adam from the earth, now he forms a second human from this small piece of Adam. Under God's loving craftsmanship, a new shape takes form, slighter and softer, but equally wondrous. He creates a woman, beautifully and intricately made. When her body is formed, God breathes life into her as well, and her eyes open for the first time. She awakens, taking in her first breath of the fresh garden air, and sits up gently. God helps her to her feet just as he did with Adam. At this moment, Adam awakens from his deep sleep. You see him rub his eyes and then catch sight of the new creation standing beside God. Adam's face lights up with amazement and joy. He has never seen another person before, and now here is someone who is like him, yet wonderfully different. A woman. Adam stands, and a sense of recognition passes between the two humans. Adam steps forward, his eyes full of tears of happiness. In a voice filled with wonder, he says, "At last, here is one who is like me." He understands that she was made from a part of him, and he feels an immediate kinship. He expresses that she is truly part of him, formed from his own flesh and bone. Adam names her woman, since she was taken from man. The woman gazes at Adam with a gentle smile. In her eyes there is warmth, curiosity, and the same spark of life that Adam received from God's breath. She is the first woman, and in time she will be known as Eve, meaning life, for she would become the mother of all who live. God presents the woman to Adam, and Adam gently takes her hand. In that moment, a profound love and peace fills the garden. They are the first husband and wife perfectly made for each other. Adam and Eve stand together under the golden sky, hand in hand, feeling completely whole and understood. They are both naked, clothed only in innocence, but they feel no shame, only pure acceptance and love for one another. God blesses Adam and Eve, the first human family. He encourages them to have children of their own someday, to fill the earth with more life and love. He gives them responsibility over the earth, charging them to take care of this beautiful creation. They are to be kind stewards of the garden and all its creatures, ruling not with force but with gentle guidance and wisdom, reflecting God's own love and care. As the sun begins to set on the sixth day, the whole world seems to glow in the golden evening light. Adam and Eve walk with God through the Garden of Eden in the cool of the day, every step filled with companionship and tranquility. They laugh and talk with their Creator as naturally as a child talks with a beloved parent. You see that Adam and Eve are completely at peace. No worries trouble their minds, and no fears haunt their hearts. All of creation around them is at peace too. The animals rest nearby without any fear. A lion lazily lounges on a rock as a lamb curls up beside it. Birds sing soft twilight songs from the tree branches overhead. God looks over everything he has made on this day, and indeed over all the past 6 days of creation, and his heart is filled with deep satisfaction. Now at last creation is complete. The light of day, the dark of night, the sky and sea, the land and all its plants, the living creatures in water, air and on ground, and human beings made in his image to care for it all, it is all in place. God sees everything that he has made, and behold, it is very good. Night falls, marking the end of the 6th day. Adam and Eve settle into rest in their beautiful garden home, under the watch of the soft moonlight and the twinkling stars. 6 days of creation have now passed, and God's world is now whole and bustling with life. The stage is set for a day of divine rest to celebrate the goodness and completeness of all that has been made. Day 7. Divine Rest. The sky brightens on the 7th day, but this day is different from the others. On this day, God does not perform any work of creation. Instead, he rests. This rest doesn't mean that God is tired after all. His power is limitless. Rather, it is a purposeful, peaceful pause to reflect on all that has been made and to enjoy the perfection of a completed creation. You find yourself in the stillness of this holy day, walking through the Garden of Eden in the early morning light. The air is cool and quiet. A soft mist rises from the ground, and dewdrops sparkle on the petals of the flowers and the blades of grass. Adam and Eve are awake and moving slowly through the garden, hand in hand, taking in the beauty around them with thankful hearts. There is no rush, no task to accomplish today, only the simple joy of being alive in God's beautiful world. God blesses this 7th day and makes it holy. It is set apart as a day of rest for all that he has created. The animals lounge calmly in the shade. You see a pair of gentle doves nestled together on a tree branch, cooing softly. Near the river, a deer drinks beside a resting lion, neither disturbed by the other. Adam and Eve sit beside a clear pond, perhaps dangling their feet in the cool water, smiling and talking quietly. Around midday, they pick some ripe fruits from the nearby trees and share them slowly, savouring the sweetness without any rush. Every bite is a gift, provided freely by the garden, requiring no toil or effort, just enjoyment. They are at perfect peace with each other and with God, enjoying the gift of creation without any labour or worry. This day is a Sabbath, a sanctuary in time. The sunlight filtering through the trees feels especially warm and golden, and every gentle breeze seems to whisper peace. You sense that the whole creation is joining in this rest, no sounds of struggle or stress. just the natural songs of birds and the rustling of leaves. It's as if the earth itself is breathing a contented sigh. In the afternoon, Adam and Eve walk with God, as they often do, under the shade of the trees. You can imagine their laughter carrying on the breeze as God perhaps points out a new fruit for them to taste or listens as they share their thoughts and delight. This is a day of relationship of closeness between God and his children, and harmony between all living things. As evening approaches on this seventh day, a tranquil hush falls over the garden. The sky dims into soft purples and blues, and the first stars appear, twinkling gently above. Adam and Eve find a comfortable spot in the grass and rest, their eyes watching the twilight sky. God's presence is with them, and with you, like a loving embrace wrapping around the whole world. On this day of rest, everything is very good, just as God intended. The world is complete, and time itself is blessed with a rhythm of work and rest. God has woven into creation a special day to pause and renew, a day to remember that life is more than doing. It is also about being, about savouring the goodness that exists. You feel the deep peace of this moment settling in your heart. In the silence of the seventh day, there is a profound sense of trust. Trust in the Creator who made all things, and trust that this goodness will continue. The stars above shine quietly as if watching over the sleeping earth, and the moon casts a gentle glow on the garden, illuminating the resting faces of the first man and woman. The seventh day comes to an end without fanfare. No new creation, no dramatic events, only the simple and abiding peace of God's rest. It is the Sabbath of the Lord, and it is blessed. In the days and years to come, Adam and Eve will always remember this gift of rest and the goodness of God's completed work. 6 days of creation and 1 day of rest together, they form the first week of the world. And with that, the story of creation is complete, a foundation laid for all the stories to follow. As our journey through the creation story comes to a close, I hope you feel a deep sense of peace and comfort. The same God who gently brought light out of darkness and harmony out of chaos is watching over you in your life. Just as he looked at his finished creation and called it very good, remember that you are a cherished part of that creation, lovingly made and very good in his eyes. Whenever you feel troubled or overwhelmed, I invite you to recall the stillness of that seventh day, the calm of Eden, the warmth of the sun, and the gentle presence of God resting with his creation. You too can find moments of rest and reassurance, knowing that the Creator who made the universe from nothing is more than able to bring peace and order to the troubled areas of your heart. Thank you for spending this time with me, reflecting on the beautiful story of how everything began. May the peace of God which was present in those first days surround you now. Take this tranquility with you as you go, and know that you are never alone. The Creator of all is with you, and he cares for you deeply. Until next time, stay blessed and at peace.